Hi, my name is Brenda McLaughlin. I'm a coach at Hatch Coding, and today I'd like to show you how to do the project Pac-Man Chomp and all of its challenges. So you can see I've already broken it down to pseudocode. There's a couple variables that interact in very creative ways, so I want to see them at work. This is the project example. It's just Pac-Man constantly opening and closing his mouth, which is pretty iconic if you ask me. So we'll start by making these three variables chomp speed, which we will set to 5. Pack mouth, which we will set to 1, and pack mouth close. Now, pack mouth close doesn't have to be 0, it gets changed immediately, but we're just setting it to show the system, hey, we're going to make this a number. Chomp speed changes how fast or how slowly the mouth opens and shuts. Pack mouth controls the upper jaw, and pack mouth close controls the lower jaw. So now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to make our draw function. We need a function, a draw function, because we want the screen to refresh, because the mouth is going to constantly get more open and more closed, and if we don't have a draw function, it won't change the picture based on how we're changing the numbers. First, we're going to set a background color. We're going to set it to black just because that's classic like the game, but really you could set it to any color you want. We're going to set a fill color for Pac-Man, which I'm going to make yellow, 2552550, which again, you can make it any color you want to. Now we're going to do one of the interesting parts of this project. We're going to set pack mouth close to 360 minus pack mouth. The reason we're doing that is we're going to change what pack mouth is. We're going to make it bigger and smaller to control the upper jaw, and we want the lower jaw to act in the same way but opposite. So as the upper jaw gets taller or moves further counterclockwise around the circle, the lower jaw moves clockwise around the circle, but in the same amount. So we're going to take whatever pack mouth is and subtract it from 360. Next, we're going to draw an arc. Now this is the actual code that makes our Pac-Man. An arc is like kind of like a pie graph. It's a certain percentage of a circle. So it can be just a quarter, it can be a lot, it can be the whole circle. It's different from ellipse because ellipse is always 360 degrees, but arc can be different. So we've got an arc at 200, 200, which is going to be the middle of the screen, with size 80, 80. Now if I made these next two numbers 0 and 180, it would just be still, it would just be half the circle. But we want to make it movable, so we're going to say pack mouth and pack mouth close, being the upper and lower ends. You can see there it is. Pack mouth is just a little bit bigger than pack mouth close to start. It's 1 and 0, so there's a little tiny gap where the mouth is. Now what we're going to do is we're eventually going to increment pack mouth at the end. So we want to say that we want to give it some like boundaries where it can stop. So if pack mouth is greater than or equal to 45, so it can only go past, it can't go past 45 degrees, it stops at 45 degrees. Then we write OR. The symbol for OR is right above the enter key. Press shift and that backslash twice, and it makes these vertical lines. 2 of them is the JavaScript symbol for OR. So if pack mouth is greater than 45, or pack mouth is less than or equal to 0, then we want to change the direction of the chomp speed. So if the chomp speed is opening, then we want it to start closing. And if it's closing, we want it to open instead. So chomp speed, we can either say chomp speed equals chomp speed times 1, or we can say chomp speed times equals -1. I meant -1 the first time. It can be chomp speed equals chomp speed times -1, or we can just say chomp speed times equals -1, and it means the exact same thing, just faster. Then this line here, end if. That means that's where the bracket goes. Bracket goes there, go underneath, and we're going to increment pack mouth by chomp speed. We can either do pack mouth equals pack mouth plus chomp speed, or we can just say pack mouth plus equals chomp speed. They both mean the same thing. There you go. If we want to change how fast it's chomping, we can change chomp speed. I'm going to change it to 2, and now it's really slow. If I change it to 10, it's super duper fast. The reason we have greater than or equal to is because sometimes the math doesn't work out right. Like it won't hit 45 exactly, or it'll go to -1 instead of 0. And we want it to understand that that's where it has to go backwards, even if it doesn't land on 45 or 0 exactly. So now we're done the base project, we can do the challenges. To change Pac-Man's color, we just have to go to this fill function right here and just pick a different color. I'm gonna make him lime green just by deleting this 0, or just deleting this 255 and changing it to 0. That's not lime enough for me. I'm gonna make the other numbers bigger, which is how you make something brighter. Well, now that's mint. Maybe I went too far. But you get the picture. You can play with this, you can make him whatever color you like, and we are finished. Now we've got to make Pac-Man follow the mouse. So to do that, we have to find the line of code that draws our Pac-Man. Earlier I said it was this arc right here. The first 2 numbers are its place, the second 2 are its size, and the final 2 are the angle, and the starting and ending angle to make it a different percentage of the circle. So what we're going to do is find the location parameters, and we can actually move them around, just change where he starts out. 500 is completely off of the screen, so it really does move him, in case you had any doubts. But 100 stays 100 no matter what, 250 stays 250 no matter what. They're not connected to the mouse at all. So we're going to use the variables that describe the coordinate position of the mouse, which is mouse X and mouse Y. So for the X position of Pac-Man, we're going to put mouse X, and for the Y position of Pac-Man, we'll put mouse Y. Now it reads whatever location my mouse is and tells Pac-Man, you need to go there. The center of Pac-Man is always where my mouse is. Easy peasy. We can mark this challenge as finished. The last challenge is for Pac-Man to move on his own across the screen and pick up a pellet. The first thing I'm going to do is make him stop following my mouse, because he needs to move on his own without me. I'm going to put him on the left side of position 100, 200. Now what I need to do is make it so that this X variable, or sorry, this X coordinate can change, but it's not mouse X. So I'm going to make it a variable that's separate from anything else we have right now. So we'll say var place equals 100. Now if I change 100 to be place, nothing changes because place is 100, which we told it on line 5. If I change what place is up here, Pac-Man will move. So what I want to do is increment place every time the draw function refreshes. The draw function refreshes 60 times every second. So 60 times every second, Pac-Man is going to move 1 to the right. So I'll say place plus equals 1. Now he moves pretty slowly, but he moves on his own. But I don't want him getting too far. So before we go any further, I'm going to put another if statement in that says if place, which is Pac-Man's X location, is greater than 450, that means he's completely invisible off the edge of the canvas because the canvas stops at 400. So if he crosses the line at 450, I'm going to change his place to be -50. So he'll start on the left side of the canvas before the border. Let me show you what that looks like. Moves all the way across. When he gets out of screen, oh, I didn't set it properly. My bad. Now he'll go off screen and appear at -50. So it looks like he loops. Whenever he gets past the right border, he comes back on the left border. Warning, don't say place -50. That doesn't mean anything. It's place equals -50. We're almost done. The last thing we have to do is draw a pellet. So I'm going to say the pellet could look like just a white ellipse. So I'll set the fill to 255. I'll draw an ellipse at position 300, 200 with a size 20 and 20. Delicious. Now what I want to happen is for it to disappear when Pac-Man crosses position 300, which is where it is. So my tricksy way to get around this, there's a lot of ways to do this challenge, but what I like to do is put in an if statement that says if place is less than 300, draw the pellet. I am aware that there are sirens going off behind me. Interesting. I've gotten rid of something that I need. So now as soon as Pac-Man crosses paths with that pellet, it doesn't get to draw it anymore. It's not allowed. I can even change this to be 290 if I want it to disappear sooner. Or I can move this so that it's underneath Pac-Man by moving it to be drawn first. And then Pac-Man goes right over top of it. I will have to change my fill because I want the ellipse to be white and not green. So I'll move my fills around. There you go. Yummy, yummy pellet. We'll go ahead and improve that challenge. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope this helped. Happy coding!